the top of the Empire State Building.
Z100, New York.
It's the iHeartRadio 9 at 9 on Z100, and I am joined with some people who were sequestered for quite a bit of time, let us into their lives via numerous video cameras. Let's swing the camera over here to Sam and Nicole from Big Brother 21. Round of applause, please. Native New Yorkers, welcome home. I mean, the area, listening to Z100, driving, trucks, and we were just talking about that before we started rolling, and phone taps and Elvis Duran, you know what I mean? What's it like to be in the building?
Oh my gosh, it's incredible. It's weird because you're used to so long being in that house, which is an odd experience as a fan.
Yep.
And then to go back to your life and then be in another environment where it's like, oh my God,
Another
I love
odd
this.
experience as a fan.
Yeah, it's very awe-inspiring.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
welcome.
like it's like a big shock to like reality because like I've seen these backgrounds of stuff on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and all of a sudden walking in here, it's like me and Nicole are just like normal people, and also you're like thrown into this life, and you're like, here we are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to
So
say it's
cool.
what you signed up for, but it is a change of realities
It
for
is.
some beat for
I had no idea it was going to
Absolutely.
be like this either.
Yeah.
Like they say, oh, it changes your life. People recognize you, and I'm like, no, they won't.
No.
And also, you go places, you stand in a store, and also someone's yelling across the aisles,
Yeah.
and you're like, really? You
that's-
know me?
You
And
know
that's
what's
the,
happening.
that's the one thing I never anticipated. I said, okay, I know the casting process. I know the show.
Yeah.
That's it. So when I got out of the house, I'm like, oh, there's a whole outside of the house
Right.
journey
Yes.
to go through.
Like
And I-
follows you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, first off, I'm going to say congratulations. Second off, I'm going to say you guys are here to take over the countdown with me for the whole hour. We're pretty much going to be hanging out. So I know you guys are music people. I know that there's more to who you are. We want to talk what the experience was like. Some of the strategies. I mean, as a fan, being a part of it, and going with your particular journey. We're curious about what really happens with Big Brother, because there is so much that goes on that we don't get to see in the hour-long episodes or whatever it is on CBS. So ready to have some fun for this hour? You cool?
I'm
with
ready.
that?
Absolutely.
I'm ready.
All
Let's
right,
do
no
it.
pressure.
Send that.
All right, there we go. Nicole, Sam, they're here hanging out all hour long on our iHeartRadio 9 at 9. It's Z100. I've got Sam and Nicole here hanging out. Big Brother 21, an experience unlike any other. I mean, is there any, is there any one word that you can use to really sum up what it was like to be in the Big Brother house?
Difficult.
Oh,
Yeah.
Far more difficult than I ever thought. As a fan, I'm like, I can do that. I got this. It's going to be easy.
Yeah.
It's far more difficult. There's so many more components that you don't count on.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. What
And,
about you,
like,
Sam?
I always say the word real because, like, all right, so you watch the show.
Yep.
You see a fight happen with the house guests.
Yep.
And then you turn your TV off and you walk away. Well, when you're in the house,
You're
that
still
fight
stuck in
happens.
it.
You're not going anywhere.
That's true.
You're
There's nowhere
it
to
sucks.
escape.
It
So
sucks
there's
because like
nowhere to
now you have
escape.
to talk to the people. You have to talk through it.
Yeah.
If they're mad at you, you're trying to sleep without having anxiety about it. Oh,
Damage
it's so
control.
real.
Then,
So real.
And then you talk about the whole strategy of the game, trying to play a game that might have been a person that you were an ally with a week
Right.
ago,
Yep.
and all of
Right.
a sudden things shift and change. I want to
Yep.
start with you, Nicole, before we get into playing like your songs and stuff.
Okay.
To be, that fan that watched from the outside and want to take that leap and want to try it. What was that initial season, or who was that person that OG house member that maybe had you think like, yeah, I can out evil Dick? Was that like the thing?
Oh, man. I would say Paul, hands down.
Okay,
I
all
would
right.
watch him, and that's like my internal monologue. So I'd watch him in the DR and be like, that's me. I'm going to be so rough and tough. I'm not going to take anything from anybody. And then I realized, yeah, there's a lot more.
It's
a lot more to
difficult.
it. I had a lot
Yeah.
more empathy, a lot more anxiety, a lot more worrying about other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for you, Sam, like what initially wanted or, fueled your fire to want to be a reality TV show contestant?
Well, the wife.
Yeah.
Because I had no intentions of
Blame the
applying
wife.
at all.
Blame the
Yeah,
wife.
I had no intentions. And like she ended up telling me, she's like, Sam, your personality is great for it. You should really apply, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. So I just kept like pushing it off. And Melissa kept like telling me like, Sam, you got to apply. She would text me and be like, apply, like do your submission video.
Yep.
So I finally whipped one up and I sent it in. And also like next thing you know, the ball was rolling.
It
And I was
starts
like,
moving.
yeah, like every interview or audition or submission thing I'd go through, I'd be like, yo, wonder if I get on the show.
Can I drop a gem on you guys? I'm going to go back maybe about 12 years. I'm going to age myself a little bit. When I was living in Columbus, Ohio, I actually went through the audition process.
Really?
Made it all the way to
Oh my gosh.
the sequestered hotel
Yeah.
where you're playing this random, you have to text a PA before you can
Yeah.
go somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
So going through that process, and I don't think there's a lot of people here, and I don't think I've talked about this very much on the radio. I was one of like the final 30-something people who
What season?
maybe, oh my gosh, this was season like 10 or 11. It was like
Wow.
way back in the day. it got to the point where they found out that I was just like, there was nothing to me, I guess.
Don't say that.
No, but the thing that really intrigues me is making it through and actually living that life. Yeah, I don't know if I had the gamesmanship and I'm not
you
smart
do.
enough
You
to
do.
do.
You absolutely do.
Yeah, you have your personality.
That's
Yeah.
what I try
That
to
would
bank
make
on
it.
that.
And
Absolutely.
we had people from our season that were backups that
Wow.
actually made it on the show. I don't think we can say names.
Yeah, no.
So I won't say
say
that.
the names.
No
but,
names,
yeah.
But there were backups that made it.
Yeah,
and
I got
part of the
pretty
season.
freaking. I got pretty far into the whole scenario. It was really great, but nobody knows that. All right, so anyway, it's not about me here. It's about
Reapply.
Yeah,
Season 22.
I might
Do it.
Yo, really,
Yeah.
dude? If I'm gone for like 3 months, that means that like I made it into the Big Brother house and I won. But if I'm gone for like 2 weeks and I'm back, then you guys know.
You know what
right?
happened.
Yeah, you know what happened. Let's talk about the music that inspires you both. I know you guys came equipped with some songs that you just want to hear on your favorite radio station. So do we want to just go like ladies first? You want to pick
Oh, absolutely.
one of your favorite
Okay,
songs that we
so-
should play on Z100? It's all you, so don't screw it up.
I screw up everything. Okay, so let's think. I absolutely love the Backstreet Boys,
Oh,
and In the House, that was one of my requests if I ever won HOH. And because I hadn't won, Mickey actually requested the CD for me. So I got to listen to Backstreet Boys, and that was just it pumped me up. It got me so ready for the game. It got me ready to win some things.
Got
and my
it.
favorite song of theirs is The Call.
Oh my gosh, so let's play some BSB.
Yes!
These guys are OGs. If you guys didn't get a chance to be in Vegas at our iHeartRadio Music Festival, they were there. The Backstreet Boys, Backstreet's back.
Yeah,
All
baby.
right.
I went to a concert once for the Backstreet Boys.
you?
I went to
like 2009. I went.
Do it.
I was
went like
rocking it
last
out. I
year.
loved it.
Nicole, the Backstreet Boys. Nicole wants to hear it. We're
Yes.
going to play it. It's on Z100. Big Brother 21. Just Big Brother. Being a part of that iconic brand. It's not just something that we get here in the States. There's Celebrity Big Brother. There's Big Brother UK, Australia, all that. To be a part of this fraternity, sorority of people. What's it like afterwards when you get to have this common bond with a select few people on the planet? That's kind of cool, right?
Very, very helpful because like coming out, the minute I got out, I'm sure it happened with you too. The minute I got out, like all the other Big Brother house guests, whether it's from Canada, here, wherever, they immediately like message you and they're like, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask this and
That's
that.
cool.
And like they would all say, the messages always said like, hey, we're one big family here.
Yeah.
You're in the family now. And I was always like, all right, like you get the first message like, all right, calm down.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, like, over time, you're like, oh yeah, we're family.
You actually
You
are a
know?
squad.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're the only people that understand what it's like
Yeah.
to be in that environment.
Yeah.
And especially like with our cast, you're the only 16 that know what it's like to be in that house that season with those people.
For
so
sure.
I always say like, yes, we're dysfunctional, but we're still very much family. Like we
Very.
know what it's like to be together.
Yeah. Very,
Let's talk
because
about
like
being in cramped quarters, or is it cramped quarters? Because what we see is and things look a lot larger through the lens of a camera.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, but then I think to myself, like this probably isn't a massive warehouse sprawled out an entire New York City block. I mean, this is a beautiful place, but pretty close. And when you're talking about having to, endure some of the smells, when you're having to endure, the person that doesn't clean up too well, or you're stuck, you lose a challenge and you're stuck, laying on the floor for 78 days in a row or whatever it is. Like, what's it like to be in that environment that looks large but maybe isn't so much?
yeah.
I will say it was much smaller when I walked in. Like, as a fan, it looked so big. And then
Yes.
I walked in, I'm like, oh, it's very tight. And what a lot of people don't know is we don't have the backyard all the time.
Right.
People think we
Oh.
just come and go. We do what we want. We only have the yard, 2 days a week?
Usually, sometimes one, like
Yes.
for a couple hours.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you're
See, that
locked
blows
inside.
my mind.
Yeah,
With
you're
everybody.
inside. Like if you went into your living room and they told you need to sit there for 6 days, like it's like that.
Yep.
There's
You
no
just can't
way.
go anywhere, and like that's why like you get inside your own head. You think people are talking about you.
Yeah.
You hear stuff. It's just it's hard sometimes. It's really hard.
And when there's a fight, case in point, you can't go out to the store. You can't go out with your friends. You're stuck. So if there's a fight, the awkwardness just looms and people have to hash it out. People have to get past it.
Yep, you'll hear it in the other room
Yep.
going on.
Oh,
and you just,
dude, I mean, it makes my skin crawl even thinking. But the fact that you're able to not only challenge yourself, to endure that, to be able to really push your limits and to really tap into emotions, I'm sure that you never thought that you would be able to or didn't even think were imaginable emotions to even go to. and there are millions of people watching. Like, I just want to say, as a fan of, of not only Big Brother, reality TV shows, like, thanks for even being willing to, like, go through that and let us be a part of your journey for that, couple
you're welcome.
weeks. Yeah, I mean, like,
Thank
seriously,
you.
I know, it's a struggle. I would be struggling, that's for sure.
Thank you for watching and caring.
Yeah, thanks for being a fan.
Yeah, we watching. Let's go to you, Sam. Dude, you came equipped with some songs, brother. It's time for you to take over the station. What do you want to hear on the playlist, man?
All right, so my one song through this whole Big Brother interview process, it's called Stardust by, I think it's Gemini Syndrome.
All right.
I think it's Gemini.
What was it about this particular song?
So I found this song legit when I actually had my first interview, when you go through the whole process and everything. And I played the song. I loved it. So, when you get a song and you put it on repeat and you overplay it where you get so sick of it.
Yes.
So I started doing it with this one song. I was overplaying it. I would go in, hop in the car. I'd drive to work, cranking it the entire time, driving home. And then as the process kept rolling forward with Big Brother, I knew that this song was going to get ingrained in my brain. Yep. So then I really overplayed it. With every single thing I would do, I would overplay the song. I am so sick of hearing this song. But the minute I hear it, my whole body is like, oh, it's Big Brother!
Bring it back.
Weird. It's so weird. Yeah.
It's the equivalent of, rooting for your favorite team, wearing those stinky ass socks for good luck. You know that there's going to be something that's going to grow on your foot come week 16 of the season. But it's worth it. Yeah. The itch, you just scratch it. Whatever. Let's go. Let's go for it. Here it is. Gemini Syndrome. He wants to hear it. He's taking over Z100. It's your iHeartRadio 99, baby. So when we're talking strategies in the Big Brother house, can you go in with a game plan, or is it you go in with a game plan and then all of a sudden that game plan is straight out the window? How does that work?
I think you could come with a general idea or a somewhat plan of action. You can't have, this is what I'm going to do this week, this is what I'm going to do this week, because you don't know the people you're going to be with.
Yes.
You don't know the dynamics. You don't know how you're going to relate to them.
Right. And I always say too, and I said this before going into the house, I said the game is 50% strategy, but 50% luck. You might be a winner from Big Brother, but if you switched your house guests, you might not have won because everything's so different.
It could be one person. It could be a jar of peanut butter that wasn't on the table.
So
at that
it all
point in
depends,
time.
what happens. Your strategy might be good. You can kind of stick to it, but you also need that luck that it just so happens to be a certain way.
Yep.
Right. So
Dude, that's the craziest part. Were either of you able to really truly stick to your strategy prior to opening that door for the very first time and walking through, or did things change for you once you got there and you realized oh man, it's going to be more than 50% luck?
Yeah.
I never really had a strategy. I had a plan. My plan was assess and adapt daily, weekly. Assess who's HOH, how people are intermingling, and adapt where I could fall. Wherever there was a big group, I knew break them up and go on the other side. I wanted to make sure I just navigated. But otherwise, I had no plan. Just go with it.
So clever. Let me just come in here, drop a little stink bomb for a
Amen.
second, and let them disperse.
Plant seeds.
Yeah,
plant seeds.
What about, so yours, I don't want to give away too much if you're still keeping it to your heart, but
no, it's fine. I already played the season and lost. So I can tell you whatever you want.
You might be back. You know what I'm saying? Who knows?
No, my thing was going into the house, I always figured out. So I always considered the jury is the halfway point.
Yeah.
So leading up to jury, they only vote out social threats.
Got it.
All right.
Yeah.
Wait, am I saying this right? Yeah. Social threats. But then after jury, it's a physical threat. So I was listen, I don't want to go in there making huge moves. I just want to glide along and make it to jury and then start making power moves. So I was I'm not winning any comps or nothing. If I was ever in the Big Brother game, I'm not winning anything. And all of a sudden, we have the first comp, and I'm going and you don't know what everyone else did. So also turned out I accidentally won. I did want to win though, because once you're in the house, all hands on deck. Now you want to win. So I end up winning that.
Note from back home. You want, you kind of, it starts going in your mind. You want to get that favorite snack.
Right. You want to win because wonder if you get evicted out and all of a sudden you threw a comp for no reason and you could have done it. Yeah. So then I accidentally won that, and then my second one, I was going I was all right, I can't win this because they're already talking Sam, you won the first comp, you shouldn't have done that. This and that. So in the second one, I was all right, I'm not going hard here. Well, then when I went and I saw that people were stacking their frogs, the comp was called Froggy Style. Yeah. They were stacking their frogs 19, 20 high, and they were knocking over. So I was all right, I'll stack mine 18, and at least hey, that's a good number. Someone's gonna beat me. Nope. And the next thing you know, I won that one, and I'm like, oh,
Mr.
geez.
Fiji.
And then I won the Fiji trip, which I'm going to next month.
Dude.
Like, yeah, it just happens.
It just happens. Basically, what I'm getting from having so much fun during this conversation is just like life in the Big Brother house is just it's whimsical.
Yes.
It's you really can't. I mean, you're in a tornado
Yep.
at all point in times, and it's just like you're along for the ride.
You're
And
enthralled in it, and it just takes you over. And no matter what you thought prior to coming in, you lose sight of it, and it's just game all day, every day.
Yep.
dude,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start first with you, Nicole. I want to know life outside the Big Brother house. And we talked about like kind of the very first little bit of coming into the studio here. Things have changed a little tiny bit, huh?
A lot.
Yeah. I mean, what's it like? Yeah, what's it like to kind of be in that experience back home, like we said, and then just have it be, reality shifted just a tiny bit?
It is insane. I said before coming into the house, like, I'm just Nicole from Long Island. I live at home with my family. I
Chillin'.
go to work, like, just a simple life. And then I went on the show and I said, oh, nobody's probably watching. Nobody even remembers me. Nobody knows who I am.
Yeah.
And to walk out on the stage and everybody knew me, and all of a sudden I'm America's favorite, and everybody stopped me outside. Everybody's stopping me in the airport. And it's like, oh my gosh, I still feel like I'm just Nicole from Long Island. But to have everybody stop me, it's weird because it's like Big Brother and my normal life, so to speak, just like collided.
Yeah.
So it's like 2 in 1.
How
a
does
montage.
and I want to equate this because it's almost like an instant pop stardom. I mean, it is something that and
Overnight.
a lot of people, it's overnight, but at the same time, there are a lot of people who can handle it, and there are some people who crumble under the pressure, and you are handling it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, just
Some
gracefully.
days not.
Yeah. Sometimes it's overwhelming.
Yeah, sometimes it can be overwhelming, right?
Absolutely.
And yeah, so
Yep.
how is it, how is it to deal with those kind of moments? I mean, do you, and I want to equate this again, like I was saying, to maybe a celebrity who just wants to go to Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Maybe you just want to go and grab a coffee with the friends. I mean, is there a point in times where you can kind of, I don't know, maybe peel yourself back a bit and have those moments? Do you have to shift around your daily lifestyle, or just gracefully say like, hey, I'm just hanging out with my family. We'll hang out. We'll take some pictures later. Is it that kind of a?
I think my normal life is pretty good in the sense, like, I'll go to the store and like 2 people stop me. I'll go to a restaurant and 2 people stop me. That's okay because it's only like 2 people.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's more so like meet and greets when there's
there's
dozens and dozens of people. Like that's
Yeah.
when it gets overwhelming. But for the most part, it's pretty good. I try to distance myself from social media at times because it
Got
can
it.
just
Yeah.
get
Same.
it kind of buries you every now and again.
Yeah, it can be crazy.
Yeah.
Trust me, man. I really fully understand it. And again, I just want to say the fact that you're handling it and
thank
it's
you.
just you're rolling with it. I mean, yeah, because I forgot to even mention that becoming America's favorite. I mean, that's
cool.
Yo, go ahead. Put a little
That's
dirt, little
cool.
dirt on your shoulder. Go ahead and brush that off. girl.
Little-
That's really rad.
That's why I wore this coat so I can make that
You said
noise.
you make that noise. But that's really cool. And I would imagine that it feels extra special to know that was an honor. That was something that you want just by being yourself.
Yeah.
That's got to be pretty cool.
And that's all I was all season. I was just
Yeah.
me. I wasn't playing a part. I wasn't trying to be anything. And because of that, I wasn't expecting anything.
Yep.
And they say expect the unexpected. So when I walked
It
out
happens.
and heard that, I was like, oh, okay, wow.
That
okay.
is the coolest thing. All right, let's go with a song off of your playlist, Superstar. What we got here? Come on, let's want to hear.
While I was in the house, I found this footage after the fact. People found me, they saw footage of me rapping to this song in the HOH room, pumping myself up because I was a little down that day. And I was like, no, I'm going to listen to this song and get back to Nicole, back to my mojo. It is The Real Slim Shady by Eminem. Yes!
Oh, we can play The Real Slim Shady. She's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. It's right here on
Yes.
Z100, baby. Taking over our iHeartRadio 9 at 9. Nicole, Sam, it's Big Brother 21 invading the Z100 studio. What would you say the studio size is compared to like the confessional room? Are we larger? Are we smaller?
half.
The-
Half, right?
The diary room?
Well, if you think
The
you
diary
went
room,
straight
yeah.
down and brought it in a tiny bit.
Yeah,
I would
mean,
say like a third.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
all right, what
you're
about
right,
the
Audrey.
what about the head of household? Like room? Like are we?
That's about it.
Yeah.
This is about it. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
because when you would go in lockdown and everyone goes in the HOH when
Very
all the
tight.
cameras are cut,
Yes.
you got to think you have 16 people in this
Oh,
room.
yeah, that's
and then you're
not-
all like sitting there.
Yeah, man.
Can't talk game
And
or
again,
nothing.
if you're not happy with each other, it's very awkward.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, we've been there.
Oh my gosh. Oh, all right. So your experience outside of the house, Sam.
Yeah.
After living this. Did you even realize how many people were watching the show, or how many family
No,
members?
I had
'Cause you
no
have
idea.
yeah.
No, because when we were in there, I'd be talking to Cliff, and you could even like the live feeders that seen it. I was just like talking to him, and I'm like, yeah, we'll come out. Like nobody will really know. And Cliff would constantly be like, dude, you have no idea. And I still was like, okay, whatever. Yeah. But then like he kept saying it to the point where I started thinking to myself like, well, should I start an Instagram? Because I never had an Instagram.
For sure.
And I was like, little things like that. Yep. So awesome. When you come out and you find out that all these people, like everyone has their haters too. So you got that too.
Yep.
But like you find out like all these people, like they want to know what you have to say. And it's like, why? I'm not anything special. Like, why do you want to know? It's not like I'm smart or anything.
I want to pinpoint on that because a lot of people, even young people and kids who maybe have grown up in this reality TV environment and this lifestyle and this world where it is a part of our culture now, they think that they can go onto a television show and create a character. They can be something that they're not, but the cameras are rolling 24/7.
Right.
The feed is going. We're watching on Big Brother After Dark. You can't help but just be yourself.
Right.
I mean, did you find that for you that you can't really pretend? There's no way to fake it.
Well, I'm just loud and annoying. so like that's me. So everyone got it because I was in like all my DRs. I was like yelling because I mean I had people asking my family or friends back home when I was in there, like when I do my DRs and stuff, they'd be like, yo, like Sam's really like energetic and loud. Is he always like that? And all my family friends would be like, you have no idea. like if it's like a sad, depressing, rainy day, here comes Sam barging in the front door like, what's up, guys? Like it's just who I am. Like that was 100% me.
So true.
So yeah, you can't hide. Like you're true. What you're gonna say or how you feel, that's what comes out. So you gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Don't apply for a show if you have issues.
For sure. I get that, dude. That makes a lot of sense. Afterwards, remaining friends with some of your castmates. Remaining friends with some of your former roommates. Is that still a thing? Do you get to stay in touch, or is it more along the lines of reunions? Is it more along the lines of going to shows and conferences, maybe a Comic-Con every once in a while? Like, I mean, like, do you still get the chance to shoot a text message to a friend?
Yep, we actually FaceTime a lot. I've never been a big FaceTimer ever. I still FaceTime now and I act very weird. Like I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? Do I look at the camera? Do I look at my face?
Exactly.
Like I don't know what to do. I have so many questions, so I just try to wait up. But everyone in the house is like huge on FaceTiming. So right now, I know for my personal self, my top people that I talk to the most and like hang out with is Nicole, Nick, Bella, and Sis. Currently, now that could change.
That could change.
I mean, sometimes we do call, or like I was texting Christy the other day. Things like that. It just happens like out of nowhere. And I mean, but I've already had Nicole come and stay at my house. Like she met my whole family. Bella's been in to stay at my house. Nick's coming in next. So like there's certain ones that you jive with. And like I wasn't that close with Nicole on the show, but the last week being a have-not, which was, you could write this down. It was my favorite week in the Big Brother house.
Really, being a have-not was?
It was only
so
because fun. What the whole package came with. So like I have a problem sleeping with people snoring in the same room. And I'm a snorer, all right? But I don't tell you. So yeah, huge. So my thing is like being a have-not, it was me, Nicole, and Jess. And it was just an amazing time. Like we had our own room. The room was freezing. We had to get huge blankets and sweatshirts. And that's when I really started talking to Nicole a lot. And we really like bonded. And I wish I talked to Nicole like earlier. Yeah. Because like, we talked in general, but like that's when me and Nicole really, really became close.
It clicked.
And when I think of my time in the Big Brother house, like the most beautiful days, I don't know.
Aww.
But like when I think about like stress-free, trying to relax, get through, it was that have-not week right before I was evicted. Wow. And I was even on the block. And I was like at peace with it. Like I was like, yo, if I'm going home, it's before jury, great. I don't want to go to jury and miss my family. Mm-hmm. But like if I stay, great. I was so 50-50 on it. It was a have-not. We had our own room. Damn. And then when I got evicted, I was like, all right, peace out, Cub Scott. I'm great. Like I'm done.
That is
Tap
so
me out.
rad.
I'm done now.
I want to throw two more questions before we get to your song that's going to top our countdown here, Sam. It's the slop. Oh, man, dude. Like, do you just stay away from when you're a have-not and you can't go and you can't pick from the pantry?
Yep.
You're looking at that bucket of Twizzlers or whatever, Chips Ahoy, but then you know that you got to look at this stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would argue, especially our week of being a have-not, we were more so starvation have-nots than slop have-nots because as a viewer, I'm like, oh, it's oatmeal, whatever. It's plain oatmeal. I can do that.
Yeah.
It is not.
It's thick.
It is not, okay?
Thick.
It is thick and mealy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm surprised there's not meal bugs crawling in it because that's what it tastes
Right.
like, just thick and mealy. And it just sits in your stomach.
Like a rock.
Like
it takes
solid.
10
You
chews
can
per
plaster-
spoon to put in.
You
Yeah.
can plaster a house.
You
know,
could.
That's
Yeah.
definitely what
You
the
could.
Mayans used
If
to
you would
build
leave
some of
it in a bowl and not wash the bowl,
would-
it'd be like caked on, like you're
concrete
bending
chisel.
spoons.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
so like,
God.
so like I end up mixing mine in a protein shake. But I did 2 protein shakes a day, and when I came out, I didn't know I lost any weight at all. When I went into the house, I was 236, and when I came back, when I landed and the wife saw me, she was like, "Sam, like, damn,
okay,
you look
good.
good." Yeah,
popping.
she was jumping my bones.
Six-pack
But like,
Sam.
I was down 204 is what I was at.
Congratulations,
Only
man.
from a have-not, from the last week of starvation. That was the best week of my life.
Right on.
So like,
And see, mine was the opposite. The weeks prior, I was stress eating so much chocolate and cookies. I was so worried and so stressed. So that, for me, like, reset my diet and put me back on like a healthy scale. Like stop eating cookies.
Welcome to a diet.
To be a have-not is not all that bad.
Yeah,
ladies
it's
and
good
gentlemen.
diet.
There you go. Last question. It was Jackson who walked away, the champ, correct?
Yes.
To go through this process. And I mean, understanding that is the ultimate goal. Understanding that is, that would be kind of cool to walk out with the little extra change in your pocket.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I mean, and I know it sounds cheesy and cliche, but how much of a winner I can't imagine you don't feel like there are really any losers. I mean, when you get to build these bonds, when you get to be in this room, this experience, you can't put a price tag on that. There is not a bucket of money that could make you feel, like you didn't get the chance to do
Like the whole
something really
package.
freaking awesome.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so what is that like to see, congratulations to the champ, but to be able to, not necessarily walk away with this big check over your head, but still say like, damn it, I'm not a loser.
Yeah.
What's that like for you?
I'm very quote unquote grateful.
Yeah.
No. Thankful. Appreciative.
Any other word? Yo, funny story. So
Spill
the word grateful, all right? And Nicole even saw it too.
Yes.
The night before I got scooped up from the camera crew when I got the key and everything, all right? The wife bought this sign that was gray and I said grateful on it.
Yep.
All right. And I was
It
hanging
exists.
it. I was hanging it above my doorway. It fell off. I was on a ladder. It smashed my foot. I still have
was
a
an
scar.
omen. It was an omen.
It was
It
a
was an
sign.
omen. It was a
I didn't
sign.
see it.
It
Did
was
not
a
even see
sign.
it. I was bleeding. I even took like a picture before I even went on the show. Like that night, I took a picture and I was joking around of my ankle bleeding. And I was like, I hope Big Brother has workman's comp because I had a feeling I was probably going. And here it was. And it was a
crap.
grateful sign. It all says it's grateful on it.
Dude,
No,
don't
but
get
this is-
tattooed
set up.
on
This
you.
is why I refuse. I'm not
No,
gonna buy.
never. I can't. When I hear the word grateful, it makes me
I
like
refuse to
cringe.
buy grateful napkins for Thanksgiving. Grateful, like nothing. Nothing.
If someone
but grateful.
prays on Thanksgiving and says grateful, I'm gonna be like, objection!
You're flipping the table.
Yeah.
Here.
Can we just be thankful,
No
please?
Thanksgiving for you.
It's not grateful
Thanksgiving
giving. It's Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving for you.
Appreciative.
Not for you.
Yeah, no
that's
gravy.
Super cool. Appreciative. That would be the word that we use. Last but not least, man, let's be appreciative that you get to put a cap on this countdown, man.
Woo.
Number 1 song on C100. We're going to put it in your hands, brother, man. Let's go for it.
Number
Sam.
one
What you got?
song. It's the song. The title is "Just Imagine It" by MKTO.
And those are my
I love it.
guys,
Just
man.
imagine. That song is so positive and like
Yes.
it makes me so happy. It's like it's on my Morcio playlist right now when I ride the bike down the road. It's just such a good song, like sunshine and beach,
Yeah.
Big Brother, friends. It just I love it. I will probably leave here and listen to it because now I'm thinking about it. I love it.
MKTO, he wants to hear it. These are my guys, man. Topping tonight's iHeartRadio 9 at 9. You got it straight from Sam's playlist on Z100. Nicole Anthony, Sam Smith, Big Brother 21. If you could advise anyone to, want to participate, to apply, you came from the fan perspective to, really just take that chance and do it. On a scale of 1 to 10, like what would be that number that you would tell somebody who is maybe teetering on the fence of whether or not to participate?
Oh man, I would definitely say a 10 if you know yourself. You have
Yeah.
to know you have to be yourself, and you will be yourself for all those days. Everybody's going to see you. There's the pre-Big Brother. There's the post-Big Brother. Keep in mind. And keep in mind that everybody's going to know what you're saying and what you're doing. And they're going to see your quirks, and they're going to see your hang-ups. They're going to see it all. Just keep that. I say 10 out of 10 if you want to do it, but just be aware.
Be aware.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
If you have like any inkling that you like try to be a different person, like even if you try to act cool.
Yep.
Like, people like that walk around, like they'll change their voice sometimes.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
if you can't, you can't do that. Like she said, you 100% be yourself. You're going in and you're fully committed because everyone's gonna see you. So if you're like, oh, I use a special skin cream so I don't break out. Well, you're not getting that skin cream in the house.
Yeah.
So get ready because now we're all gonna watch a proactive commercial. Yeah. So because you gotta and even doing stuff with your face in the mirror and there's a camera right back at you. It's there.
Yeah, it's
so
there.
You can't try to be a different person. Like you are in, so you better buckle up and just be yourself and be yourself for all the interviews leading up to it.
Yep.
And if you're teetering on the edge, you don't know unless you try. Challenge yourself. Like it's just like people who go on Survivor and stuff. You don't know. Like I don't want to be on Survivor, but hey, if someone called me and said, "Sam, do you want to be on Survivor?"
Why not?
I'm on the boat and I'm going over there.
I'm there.
Yeah, but I don't want to though. Like
And you know what? Never underestimate like the power of learning about yourself. Like I went into it like I'm a tough New Yorker. I'm gonna be the tough girl. Nobody's gonna get past me. And they saw my quirks. They saw I'm a quirky girl. And I learned to embrace those quirks and just even be more so myself. So for me, it was like a learning experience. So if you're willing to go into the experience and learn about yourself in front of everybody, do it.
Well, I can tell you, man, one thing that if you have not want to challenge yourself to do this is start a freaking podcast. You guys are awesome at this. Like, this was like the coolest thing that was, the energy is right. The camaraderie is there. The conversation.
I love Sam.
Yeah. I mean, serious. This was like one of the dopest takeovers that we've ever had here at Z. And like, to me, it's really cool because I am a fan of the show. I'm a fan of the reality TV. I'm a fan mostly of people who are willing to challenge themselves to do something like this because I understand that it's a leap of faith and you guys did it and you made it out, you survived, besides the scar that you have on your foot before you even made it into the house.
My scars tell my story.
But it's really, really cool. I mean, it's really, really cool to know that, again, it's just two amazingly regular, I don't mean that by, any slight of it, but just regular people who are living their lives, who are having the best time doing it. And damn it, you guys got to be on the world famous Z100.
Yeah, damn it.
I know. I'm living a dream right now. I'm still fangirling.
I'm sorry,
oh my God.
There it is. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I mean, serious business, man. And if you choose to be on an all-star cast in the future, maybe at some point in some time there'll just be a big, massive, a blending of all the continents of Big Brother. Dude, take out the Aussies.
But I'm warning you,
Canada.
this is the final two right here. So it already happened.
We already have an alliance. Just so you know.
It's been said.
We can never be on now.
It's been said. Thank you guys for kicking it, man.
Thank you.
And thank you for taking over Z100
Thank you.
series. Round of applause.
Thank you.
One more time. Yeah.
From the top of the Empire State Building,